We discussed several of the selections for criterion or categories for the development of the Because of You campaign. And one of the top 5 that we took to our nominating committee to consider for the development of the campaign was heroism. If it was not in the top 3, I feel it was number 1. Because we all know today that those who go into the mining profession are not only heroes to us, but heroes to the families that they go home to every day. Unfortunately, the volatility of the mining industry leads to these individuals stepping up to be a hero or have acts of heroism in the workplace. And as you'll see when we tell this story, the nominees it was very hard to select that one story that we could honor here today at the Miner Celebration.
The miner I am nominating is my father. Coal mines are in his blood. It's the profession his father was in until the day he died. My father was in a mining accident roughly 24 years ago, if I recall correctly, where he lost his leg. My entire life, I've only known this man with one leg, and he has not let it slow him down. When things were looking bad because he couldn't find work, he always found a way to make a positive for his family. Once he found an employer willing to let him mine again, he jumped all over the opportunity. 5 to 6 days a week, he is underground, pushing hard to support his family, doing a job that he loves, just like his father and most all his brothers. I feel this miner is the perfect candidate for this, not only because he is a survivor of a mining accident, but for the simple fact that this man has not let one life-altering event slow him down on the job or with his family.
He is true at life. He truly enjoys every minute. Nothing gets him down. Nothing gets him down. He's a hard worker. He believes in hard work, and he believes in taking care of his family.
He does more with the one leg than most people do with 2 legs.
I've been around the mining industry since 1982. I've been working underground for about the last 8.5 years. Back in November the 13th, 1984, I went to work. Around noon, I was hanging some pump cable across the belt line, and the belt line wasn't running. And when I stood up on the belt to hang the pump cable across the belt line, the belt ended up turning on me. And as I tried to get off the belt, my foot fell through a split of the belt, which as it was rotating, it threw me down into the belt headed out by. The belt continuously dragging me out to the hopper of the stacker belt, which throwed me in. Coal started coming, dumping on me, and the stacker belt wasn't running at that time. And as the coal come and kept coming over top of me, I tried to keep pulling myself up, and finally I didn't have no fight left in me. And I could always remember my dad telling me, if you ever go to get covered up and think that you could leave a body part out to be found, do it. So I did. I left my left hand stick up in the air as the coal covered up with me. And I took my right hand and I put it over my face because the coal was going down my throat, choking me. At that time, I lost consciousness, and when I come to, all I can remember was a guy by the name of Ernie Range up in the belt line with me, holding me up in the air with bags of rock dust putting under me as they was trying to separate the belt to get me out. Then they transported me to United Hospital Center, where I learned that I lost my leg. I was told by doctors and stuff, you're not going to be able to do that, you're not going to be able to do it. I had to put that, you know, I was missing a foot in back of my mind and take life as it come. And I never did let any challenges stop me. I always said, I'm going to do it, and I did it. First interview I had after I was released to go back to work, and I knew that I could go back to work, I went and applied for a equipment operator's job. And the interview went real well. At the end of the interview, the guy that was interviewing me told me, he says, you have more qualifications than anybody that did this job. But he says, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you because our insurance won't allow us, because you have a prosthetic, we're not going to hold it reliable for us. So that was like a slap in the face to me. I knew in my heart I could do it, but it was like nobody would give me a chance to do it. I just needed to prove myself to people. Finally decided I was going to return underground. I went and sat down, had interviews with him, talked to him, and I told him, you know, that I had a prosthetic leg, and it seemed not to bother them. Their only concern was it was kind of low coal, and I said, just give me a chance that I wanted to do it. So they decided to give me a chance, and I went in and I proved to them that I could do it. The challenge was a little bit tough because of mud and water, and you know, in low coal you got to duck, walk, and sometimes crawl. but I overcome it. If you set it in your mind and say, oh, I can't do this because every ache and pain, then you're not going to do it. If I would say, I can't go to work today, my leg hurts too bad, or my back hurts, I got to lay on the couch. That's just, in my book, that's just not how it should be. You're not disabled unless you tell yourself you're disabled.
He's always going to be one of the better miners in my heart, and that I hope he keeps doing what he loves to do.
Today, also, we're going to honor Leslie Wellman from Logan County, who was nominated posthumously by his son, Dennis Wellman, for his work and dedication in community service on behalf of the miners themselves.
My father, Leslie Wellman, worked for Island Creek Coal Company from 1946 to 1971 as a motorman. He held numerous UMWA local union positions, including president. He, with help from friend and fellow miner Willie Anderson, established the first miners' black lung office in Logan County in the 1970s. He was trained by the UMWA as a paralegal to represent disabled miners with black lung and Social Security benefits at no charge. He served as a member of the Logan Medical Foundation's board of directors for many years as the miners' representative. He was an ordained Baptist minister and pastor for more than 30 years. Leslie died in 1982 from complications of black lung and pneumoconiosis.